Tech by Tips.
Hello and welcome to another Tech by Tips video. In today's video, first of all, I want to thank two donors to the channel, and these amazing people are Teddy Ochien Okelo and Gerard Brol Blaines. Thank you very much for the donations to the channel. They're really appreciated. You keep the channel going and keep me motivated to continue making videos of good quality for you. So you're rock stars. Thank you very much. Now we're going to go into the request for today's video, and that comes from Huanga 1990, and it says, thank you so much for these tutorials. They've been essential for setting various apps on my Synology. Can you do a tutorial on installing Plex on Docker? I have already installed it in the package center and want to switch to Docker. I don't have the confidence and skills to do it in Docker. Thanks. So basically, he's saying, how can we get Plex running in our NAS? But instead of using package manager, how do we do that as a container? So let's get into that. All right, so I'm here in my NAS, and let me have my container manager open and my file station ready. So again, we're going to be doing the container version of Plex. We already know what Plex is. Plex is an application that is a media player. So if you have other applications in your suite, like the R's, where you download movies, TV, anime, music, and stuff like that, then you would be using Plex to play that. And you can connect like a smart TV to Plex, or your phone to Plex, or your computer to Plex. So you can basically consume that anywhere. And using the Synology NAS, we can even expose that outside so that we can access it when we're not home. So that's the advantages of Plex. That's what Plex is. So now let's talk about how do we set this up in a container. So the first thing that we're going to need in here is we're going to understand what kind of things we have to provide to that container. And as usual, we're going to go and create the file structure that we need, if anything. And then we're going to go and create the Docker Compose file that is going to explain how we deploy that container, and I'm going to put that in a reference guide so you will have access to that, and the link is going to be on the description below. Now, we're going to be using the Linux server image for Plex because you know that's the usual good ones that I like. So let me go into Docker Hub for a second and show you that. So we're going to go in here and we're going to look for Linux server Plex. And here we go. This is the image that we're going to be using. I like Linux servers images because they update them frequently, as you can see 12 days ago. So this is very important. You'll always have a good, stable image that is recent. And in here, if you want to go and check, they have the normal machine, like a Intel AMD processor, but they also have the ARM for Raspberry Pis and ARM HF, which is like older ARM devices, but that one is not available. So basically you are up to ARM 64 and AMD 64 basically. And in here it tells us about the different versions that we have. We're going to be using latest as usual. And here they have a Docker Compose file example that we can leverage for this. In this we can see that they tell us, for example, that we need to specify a group and a user ID. We need to specify a time zone. We need also to specify a version in that case here. And the claim token, if you already had a Plex server and you're just basically moving it along, we don't really need it, but if you want, you can put it here. So this is optional. And then it says that we need to pass it some directories, and we need one for the configuration files. We need another one for our TV or our movies or whatever, but I'm not going to separate it. I'm just going to pass the root of where we store all of our different media in the NAS, and then internally within Plex, then we can specify that. And you can reference my previous video on Plex on how to configure it because it's going to be exactly the same thing. So let's get to this now. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go here, and for the projects, I'm going to create a new project for Plex in a container. And I'm going to go into my containers here. I'm going to create a folder for Plex. So this is where we're going to have our configuration files. And this is where we're going to have the Docker Compose file. Now, all my media is here. So in HTPC media. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass this folder, this root folder here, or actually I can pass just media, to Plex to just be able to read our content and then make it available to us in whatever application we're using to connect to Plex. So now that we have all the folders that we need, we can go in here and create a new project. So I'm going to create a project named Plex. I'm going to look for that path that I created here for the project. And if you notice, my NAS is brand new because I'm working on another video, so I cleaned a lot of stuff up, so that's why. And in here, we're going to be working on the Docker Compose. I'm going to put this as an example right now, but there's a few things that I need to explain, so I'm just going to not start it and just save this so we can see it in a bigger screen. So let's go here and go into YAML configurations, and in here, let's make the notes. This is if you don't have a graphics card in your NAS that you can use for transcoding. So that's what you're going to be doing the top for. But if you do have a graphics card, it could be, for example, that you're running your NAS in an Intel processor that has an embedded internal graphics card, like an Intel HD 4000 or something like that. And that works perfectly fine for transcoding. So if that is your case, then you're going to be using this other one here, which is if you do have a graphics card in your NAS that you can use for transcoding. So for now, all of this is going to be commented out. All right, I have finally cleaned this up a little bit and commented it out. So first, let's discuss the top here, which is if you don't have a graphics card to do the transcoding. In this case, whenever you run something that needs transcoding, let's say, for example, you have a file that is 1080p, but you're trying to watch it from your phone, which is, let's say, 720p. So then the Plex container is going to do live transcoding of that to bring it down from 1080p to 720p. If you don't have a graphics card to do that transcoding, then that's going to be done by the CPU. So you have to be aware that if you go this route, your CPU is going to get cranked up to 100% sometimes when you're transcoding. If you're viewing something at the original quality, then it's not going to do anything and it's going to be fine, but just know that. Now, this other section here is, like I said, if you do have a graphics card, like an Intel graphics card, for example, that is embedded within your CPU, or maybe you have an NVIDIA graphics card, or maybe an AMD graphics card, then you can use that graphics card to do the transcoding for you so your CPU doesn't get cranked up to 100. Now, in here, we're saying that the image that we're going to be using is the Linux server Plex. I'm going to name this container Plex. And then here where it says network host, it's used for the fact that there's some connectivity that Plex offers, some services like DLNA, and that allows you to like share content to Windows machines and stuff like that. So if you put it on the network mode of host, then that'll be accessible. If you don't do that, then that's not going to be accessible. Here, as usual, we're going to be using the user ID and group ID for the administrator, like the first administrator that you create when you set up your NAS. If you're not going to be using that user, you need to figure out what those values are by SSHing into the NAS as the user that you want to use and then running the ID command. And now, in my case, my time zone is America, New York, so that's what I'm putting that. You have to find out what is yours. And then in here, Docker version, since we're using a container, we're going to leave it as Docker. And then if you had a server already and you had a Plex token, you can put it here to claim it again. It's optional, you don't really need it, that's why I have it commented out. And now we have to map the volumes that we're going to be using for this server. So we need to store the configuration in this containers Plex folder that I specified. So let me go to properties, volume Docker containers Plex, because it doesn't let me copy that. So volume 1, then Docker containers, and then Plex. Let me validate that that is correct. Volume 1 Docker containers Plex. Volume 1 Docker containers Plex. All right, so this is the configuration directory and where we're going to put our media. So my media is here. So I'm going to mount the media folder. So that's going to be volume 1 HTPC media in my case. So this is going to be volume 1 HTPC media. And I'm going to mount this to media, let's say. And that's it. I'm passing in the config directory /config in the container, we're going to mount this in the NAS, and in the /media, we're going to mount the other one in the NAS. So that is perfect. It stores our configuration. If something happens, we don't lose anything. Now, in this case, security out, I'm going to remove this, and then we're going to restart this container unless we manually go and tell it to stop. And that's the configuration that you need if you're not going to use hardware transcoding. That's the important thing here. Now, if you plan to use hardware transcoding, then we're going to come down here and we're going to make a few changes. And here is the updated version if you want to use hardware transcoding, where on the environment variables, if you want to use an NVIDIA graphics card, you have to put all of this stuff here that I have marked, so uncomment that and leave the others commented out. Now, if you want to use an Intel one, you're going to use these two lines here, and I believe it also works with AMD graphics cards. And that's basically based off what I have found other people that use those cards to say. I'm not sure if just leaving this will make it that the NVIDIA graphics card is accessible. All I've seen is that people that use NVIDIA use this. So this is what you need to do if you want to use hardware transcoding. For NVIDIA, enable all this. For AMD and Intel, enable only this. So basically, I'm going to leave this in the reference guide, so you pick whichever you want to use. In my case, I don't have a graphics card on this lab NAS, so I'm going to use the first version. So once we have this, basically we have everything that we need in this Docker Compose file, and we can basically just save and build. So I'm going to say, all right, so now we're building the project. It's going to pull the image and build a container and do all of its things, and I'll be back when that is done. And that is done. We can see the exit code 0 here, and we also can see here the message letting me know that it was built. So now we should see a Plex container here where it says containers, and when we click on it, we should be able to then go into the logs and basically follow this. Now you might see a bunch of errors here telling us that if for some reason it cannot create directories that it needs to create, even though it says that it's running as the user that was specified, right? So it tries to start the Plex container, and we can see that even creates a few things. It creates the library folder, but then it starts complaining that it cannot create other things. So we need to figure this out, right? Because it looks like Plex inside the container is trying to run as another user. So we need to make sure that that user that it is trying to use to run also has permission to write to the directories. So we can validate that by going here into the control panel, shared folders, and then do here an edit. And if we go into the permissions in the system internal users is where you normally see the Plex user created if you have installed Plex as a package. But since in my case here, I am not running this after having the package running there, I don't have the user. So I might just have to create that user and grant it permission to then be able to work with the folders. So for that, we would have to go then into the users and create a user for Plex. So that would be the case. We would go here, create a user, and then we have to create a user and fill all of this information out. So in my case, I'm going to name it Plex Media Server, and I'm going to put a description that says that this user is for the Plex container, and then I'm going to put some random password here. This is not going to be used, so it's kind of irrelevant, but just put that because it's required. And then I'm just going to say next to create that, and then where do I have to put this user? I'm going to put it as a user here, and then click next, and then in here I am going to the folder here that is HTPC. I'm going to say read and write so that it is able to manage the media in there and do the transcoding and all that. Then I click next, and then next, and I don't need to give anything else to that, so next and done. And now we have a Plex Media Server user here that then if we go into the folder again and we do edit, we go into permissions and we see it here and it has read write. We also have to make sure that the Docker folder, the user has permission there to read and write, because that's where we're storing all those files. So remember, we're here inside the Docker one. So we want to make sure that it is able to read and create files here so that then it can create all of this. Once we can see that it can create all of this, then we should be able to see that it is working properly here and the errors stop happening. And we see the success message here that lets us know that the container is running on port 32400 on the IP of our NAS. So now we should be able to go into the IP of our NAS and then go into 32400. All right, so when we go into the IP of the NAS, we have to put port 32400, and then after that we put web, and we need to make sure that we're doing HTTP instead of HTTPS. So then when we click that, then it's going to recognize that we have a Plex server, and then we need to sign in with our Plex account in order for us to be able to then connect that to our account. And once we do that, then we get the normal setup page and everything. So this is going to be exactly the same as in my previous video, but that should be, something you can follow. I don't have to go over this again on this video. Go to the previous one and then figure out how to connect everything together so that Plex can use your library. But yes, that's how you create the container and how you access it in your NAS if you're running it in a Docker container. So that's going to be it for this one. If you liked it, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not done so, because that's very important. That helps us grow, get exposure, and get opportunities to grow the channel and focus more on the channel. And remember, I always make the videos based on the comments that you write to me. So feel free to write in the comment section below. If you have any problems, I always try to help you out too. So feel free to write there and I'll reply as soon as possible. And again, you should have noticed that you shouldn't have gotten an ad on my video, and that is on purpose because I am not monetizing the channel. But that also means that all the effort into making these videos return is $0 for me. So if you want to support it, if you want to support the channel and support me, if you like the content, I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can donate through PayPal, or also a Bitcoin address if you want to donate that way. And that's going to be really important because you're going to be another one of those rock stars that I mentioned at the beginning of the videos, and that motivates me to continue working on the channel. So that's going to be it for this one. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.